Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, well, I think we're we're about ready to start. So, hi guys, welcome. Can you just give me a hi in the chat box to make sure you can hear me okay? We've actually gone for Hangouts here on YouTube rather than GoToWebinar, so a bit of a different setup than usual. If you do want to comment, you'll need to sign into your Google or YouTube account if obviously you want to ask us any questions during the presentation. Hi there. Yeah, hi to you too, John. Mo, hi. Chris. Okay, so looks like we're good to go. So welcome to this ExecPBN webinar, how to operate $1 million PBN. Nice clickbait title there, but it's more than true. We'll lift the curtain on our founder's wildly successful network and some of the thoughts and philosophies that have gone behind creating this piece of software and some of the systems behind some of our big SEO successes. So what are you going to learn? Well, the software and systems behind the success of a multi-million-dollar affiliate business and many others. How to manage and monitor a 1,000+ blog network with ease in the cloud and without any plugins. How to secure more revenue and reduce costs from your PBN. The biggest threat to your PBN as we move into 2017 and beyond. Why Google isn't some mind-reading being that have been made out to be in the SEO community. The 15 patterns Google uses to de-index your PBN and penalise your client sites. Why poor content automation and your hosting is killing your link power. And how to make your blogs look like they were handcrafted with only 20% of the effort. We're not here to sell you on the benefits of running a PBN. If you're not one in one yet, this isn't for you. Nor can we give you everything you need to know about running a large-scale PBN, but we hope even the most experienced of you will be able to pick up a few tips along the way. We're not going to keep you too long or give you the hard sell on ExecPBN either. We appreciate your advanced marketers, so you're probably familiar with how this is set up. We'll have an offer at the end for you, of course, but it will be limited. Just a little bit of scarcity for some of you to get you over the finishing line. However, what we've put together we really think will help support your growth as network owners. So we'll run for a quick intro, talk about some of the issues we've been trying to solve with large-scale PBN management, and then we'll talk about how we've gone around solving it over the years. We'll also be providing some demos of what the software does throughout. So some quick introductions. I'm Ben, I'm the product manager here at ExecPBN. I'm in charge of project managing the developers and help us build on this and continue the development of the product. I've been working with our founder Dustin now for 7 years and have a unique insight into how the system has developed and some of the challenges that we've overcome in that time. Also on the line with me I have Joe. Hi Joe, how's it going?
Hi Ben, hi everyone.
Great. Yeah, Joe's the site manager of our main sister affiliate business. He handles our key affiliate partners across our most important industries. He's here to lend a hand with the production and also be reading out some of your questions during the presentation. Let's do know if you do have any questions, and Joe will either answer in the chat box or he'll bump in and kind of ask me. So quick intro about us. We were founded on the back of the wildly successful affiliate career of a founder. No secret, most of you are invited through him or by close contact. We're on the verge of launching his personal brand, so we're going to start cross-promoting that a lot soon. We've been creating our own internal PBN since 2008. We couldn't miss back then in terms of success, so we just piled site upon site until we were really losing control. So originally the software was created privately to automate and improve our own PBN and make it more kind of scientific. So along the way we've adapted it and it's been updated as Google has become better at detecting manufactured backlinks and also some of the animal variations of the algorithm updates. Penguin, for example, we added better ways to track our anchor text usage. Panda, we added the ability to add relevant media and kind of track what our writers were doing. We've also added more pattern tracking as we know Google has become a lot more sophisticated over the years. Along the way we picked up several successful clients who started using the software privately, and last year we decided to redevelop the system as it was approaching about 5 years old and it was starting to show its age, and we thought why not open it up to help others. Yeah, and over the years we've spent an estimated nearly $500,000 on domains, content and software. And to be fair, our intention is slightly selfish too, because we kind of wanted to build up a network of top SEO brains and network with you guys and share tips with other high-level SEOs. And really push the software forward too if we could get people on board. Okay, that's enough about us. So let's look at some quick terms, and just so you understand what we're going on about when we refer to certain concepts throughout the presentation. First off, a client site can be a client if you're an SEO or your affiliate site, if you're an affiliate marketer, of course. When we mean client site, we mean you're essentially the site is a client to your network because they receive backlinks from it. Next, we have a content/post, an article that contains your backlinks, obviously. And orders is how we group tasks of kind of new articles and backlinks each month. And you'll see in the system that that's how we handle task management within an order, so to speak. So, who's this for? Large network owners, basically. Well over 100 blogs. And I know, judging by the chat beforehand, some of you are rapidly approaching 2,000. You're either running a successful client SEO business, or perhaps your network supports your affiliate efforts. You have a team, you have to delegate work to make sure your business and your PBN run smoothly. You're experiencing high-level problems that occur at scale, as we'll go into later. And just as a caveat on that, if you're just getting started or just manage a small network to help rank 1 or 2 sites, ExecPBN really isn't for you. The problems we solve become an issue, I'd say, at scale and growing, and when you're facing extreme competition. You're managing links to multiple sites that rely on your PBN, and you have multiple sources of income as well. So what problems are we actually solving? Well, we're not a hosting solution, not at the moment. We're working on something behind the scenes that will help manage your existing hosting portfolios, because we know you're keeping away from the big SEO or specialist PBN hosting for obvious reasons. Secondly, we don't create any content for you or any way for you to scrape or spin free content. I don't know any of you that are doing that after the first date a few years ago. We just manage the content process from conception, creation, inserting links and posting to your actual PBN. Although we can automatically order paid content from a third-party solution for you, as we'll see later. So what do we actually do? So, as some of you are asking, what do we actually do then? Well, we're a PBN management tool. We automate the management, monitoring and protection of your network. We provide you with the intelligent and analytics that allows you to view your network as Google does. And I know most of you are using massive spreadsheets of varying complexities to really try and get a hold of your network. But what we do is kind of condense everything to over 40 tools, so it offers you a big dashboard, that offers you central control over your domains, links and your content. So what value are we providing? First of all, we're protecting your investments. We're protecting the de-indexing, so you're not losing your domains and your content. Securing your recurring revenue. We're reducing client-side penalties so you don't lose clients. And that monthly check keeps coming in because you're doing a fantastic job. Increasing revenue. We give you the intelligence to make better link choices, which we feel will give you better rankings. Reducing costs. We're automating a lot of the processes and a lot of human resource time and efforts on your network. And we can help with infrastructure planning as well. We give you the information to plan as you grow, so it saves a lot of time and kind of mental processing too. We're also providing a lot of high-level thinking experience. You saw the level of investment we've made in our own networks, but we've been working with several big SEO players ourselves on the software for 5 years now, so you're really getting a great deal of experience. Taking back control, we know from experience how things can feel like they're running wild, so to speak, as you expand. Peace of mind, this is important for us because we know we're doing everything we possibly can to protect and uphold our network. I might have touched on this already, but reducing stress takes a personal processing away with the automation, etc. A lot of the kind of small things that can kind of drag you down as you try to grow your business. And as I just said, it frees you up to run your business. And ultimately, we think it can actually help you increase your profits because you'll be able to create more revenue and certainly at less cost. Excuse me, while I grab a bit of water. I've got to remember not to drink too much. When we done a dress rehearsal, I ended up going to the toilet twice during the draft recording. So how does it actually work? Well, it's all in the cloud. We use XML, RPC and spiders. There's no plugins or software, so there's absolutely no trace when you use our software. We communicate naturally using the CMS. And we have an army of super smart index spiders, smart algorithms, and external API processes that we use to gather data for you. And all you have to do is give us a URL, a login credential, and how you wish your network to be provided, and we'll calculate the rest for you. Yeah, setting up super quick. It's something that we've really spent a lot of time on to really get you up and running quickly. What you do once you've provided us, obviously, with all the information, we then go and record and download and store your content. More on this later. We then analyse it all for outbound links. Then when the system has finished its initial scan, we'll even suggest who your client sites are. So you either give us a yes or no, and they automatically get set up with a client profile, as you'll see in a bit. This gives you an amazing oversight, including patterns, link profile from your network, etc. Really, really powerful stuff. Group blog categories quickly. This allows you to pull together similar categories, so new content managed through the system will get placed into relevant existing categories already on your blog. There's nothing that looks more unnatural than having several similar categories on your site. And we'll talk about this more in the post system in a bit. Okay, so let's take a quick look inside. Any questions, leave them in the chat. To be honest, there is quite a lot of dense information, so I appreciate the chance to clarify anything throughout the presentation. I'll also be flicking back to the presentation to discuss any issues along the way. So let's quickly flick. Okay, so this is your login screen here. All you do is just fill in your details, obviously, and press login, as you might have guessed. And yeah, here we are. Here's your dashboard. This gives you a complete snapshot of everything that's happening on your network. Here we have a quick getting started video when you first open your account, just to give you a quick push in the right direction. And also we're going to, as I flick through these, we're going to more detail on many of the features as we run through the demo, so don't worry if it feels like I'm moving too fast. This demo account has some dummy domains, so if stats might look a little off, please excuse any of the data if it looks a bit skewed or whatever. So here we have like network stats. Here you can see the number of networks, or how we've subdivided our networks, the number of network blogs, how many clients we've got on there. The total number of articles across the blog, huge, and new articles in the last 7 days, which links into our posting system. Next, we have uptime stats. We monitor all your network domains for uptime and alert you if there's any issues. And yeah, we've got a percentage time here for the last 24 hours, how many sites are down, total site checks that the system's done, and a neat little graph to show the kind of 7-day view. Then we move over to index checks. So we check all your network domains to make sure they're still indexed in Google and Bing. Again, I'm not quite sure why that's showing 45, but as I said, this is demo content. And then we have robot check access. So we check all your domains and letting Google and Bing through. But we also make sure that you're blocking third-party SEO tools like Majestic. Expiring domains. This is just a quick feature request that one of the clients had. Because we collect all the Whois information, we give you a rundown of the next 10 domain names on your network to expire. Order queue. This is the posting system. As you can see, the outstanding orders, which I said is the task management, outstanding posts, posts submitted this week, outstanding orders, including the status. As you can see, this one's new, and 0 out of 2 articles have been completed. Last 10 posts. These are the last 10 articles that ExecPBN has posted to this network. As you can see, we're starting to build a picture already that we're making management really digestible and easy. And if you look at the sidebar here, and from the sidebar here, you can quickly click on site issues. Excuse me. As you can see here with site issues, you can see the total number of sites down. Again, how many site checks, and quickly identify the domains along with an error message that we're receiving to the Uptime Checker. And you can also see import issues here at the bottom. So post issues, this is to do with the order system, and if it's had any issues contacting your blog to actually place the article on your WordPress install, for example. So you can see, as you see, you're able to take control of your massive network and see what's happening instantly just within a few seconds of logging in. Not only does that save you a massive amount of time, but we'll actually send you a daily email with a complete snapshot of everything too. Yeah, and ExecPBN it really makes large-scale PBN ownership easy. So let's go through the menu and take a look at some of the key features and value that software is going to provide for you. Let's start with networks. So yeah, we allow you to group your domain names into as many subnetworks as you needed, and this is really helpful, especially within ExecPBN, because it allows you to set posting rules. So if you don't want clients to post on a certain group of domain names, you can set what networks they can post to, and it also allows you to filter the monitoring tools and the pattern detection tools. Sorry, bit of a mouthful there. If you don't want all your domains to be considered in one big group. Yeah, we'll flip back to the network session as we go through, because I want to show you clients first. So when we do the initial scan of your network, we pick up every single backlink and provide a list of outbound domains that you've used. Then you have to select which of these you wish to be treated as clients, and they instantly get an amazing profile with all the intelligence we hold about them. This is so powerful because it can really help you make better linking choices. You'll also be able to use them in the content ordering system, as you'll see later. So let's take a quick look at client profile. Here you can see at the top we've got general stats. This is just your SEO stats, your index and your uptime check, because we also do that for them as well. Network stats, how many links, posts and how many outstandings there are for them in the system. Client capacity is actually how many blogs they're able to post on based on the posting rules. And this next section you can see the posting rules just to the right. Yeah, we'll come to the posting system in a bit, but when you place an order in the system, we can help you manage your resources by auto-assigning where the client should have their next link posted, basically. We'll show you a quick example of this a bit later, but for now you can see from here which network this client can post on. The related client blocks, this allows you to avoid other clients if you want to keep them apart. And yeah, Moz rank filter basically that allows you to set a maximum minimum value. So if you want them to go into powerful blogs, for example, or you want to keep them off of powerful blogs, yeah, it's up to you. 5 most recent posts obviously displays the last 5 posts that have gone through the system for this client. Orders, their 5 most recent orders within the system, and obviously their status. As you can see, some are finished and there's a new one at the bottom there. Top 5 network anchors, and if you click on full report, because obviously we're tracking every single one. So yeah, this is the anchor text report system. As you can see here, the load of keywords that we've used, which is not a great example because there's loads and loads of the long tail ones. But if you click on here, it filters the table at the bottom here. And this allows you, yeah, to quickly identify where the links are already. Just going back to the main report. And yeah, the next box is client hosting details. You can see we give you IP, name, server details, etc. Next one is Moz stats for the root domain of the client. As you can see here, gives you domain authority, page authority, and some other ones that don't actually work because this is a demo account. After that, we move to the pattern detection. This is the pattern detection system, basically filtered down for this client. So out of your network domain names, you can spot any patterns that you might be creating to them that you might not see if you looked at kind of a network level. So as you can see here, 21.2% of its Class A IPs are on at 129 range. Yeah, all the way down. But we'll go into this in more detail when we get to the pattern section. Next is the Whois pattern, which is exactly the same as the kind of linking IP ones, but obviously filtered down for the Whois information or based on our network. And link profile similarity, this just gives you a number of how many blogs on your network it shares with other clients. And if you want to cut down on cross-pollination, of course you just set up a posting rule and they will avoid that client if you do your content through our ordering system. And for us, yeah, this is a protection issue on our own personal network because we like to keep clients kind of away from each other. So if one did get kind of unveiled, so to speak, it wouldn't take too many other clients down with them. Excuse me, I'll just grab some more water. I apologise, I'm getting over a cold. I had a really bad man flu last week and I'm still a bit nasally, even worse than normal. You actually get a similar profile for your network blogs. Let me just go to that quickly. So yeah, this is the blog overview screen. This is where you basically manage your network domain names from. As you can see at the top, we've got a create blog that allows you to quickly enter a new domain name. Import CSV if you want to do a bulk upload, or add Tumblr blogs because that's a slightly different process for the system. But as you can see, we give you just a quick filter section so you can flick through your domains quickly. And we provide you obviously with a table here with a URL, which network they're on, the MOS rank, the status. This is within the posting system because you can disable some of them. Where they're hosted, we'll come to host labels in a bit. And yeah, the reverse IP number, which we'll come to in a little bit. But if we click to the details page, yeah, as you can see, this is pretty similar to the client profile, but it just gives you, a more, what's the word I'm looking for? A more focused approach towards your network domain name. Let's just run through. It's exactly the same, mostly. General stats, network stats. You see all articles contained on this blog. And you can see the network status up there. Blog hosting details, it's MOS stats. Neighbors features, as I said, we'll come to in a bit. This one's only got one, but you click through to see a robot report. Key feature is robot access, so you can quickly see an overview of if you're blocking Google, Bing, and the third-party SEO tools. Basically, get your robot text or your HTTP level. They're getting a block status code when they try to access it. Yeah, and then clients on your blog, so you can quickly see which clients already have links on there. And finally, again, patterns, but how this blog relates to the rest of your network. So you can see it shares the same class A block as 7 other sites, which is only like 5.6% of the network. And you can see that it shares its register with 25 other domains right there in the Whois Patterns as well. But as I said, we'll come to the pattern section just in a little bit. So as you can see, the amazing amount of detail that we're collecting just on each individual network domain name for you. And it's really powerful when we pull it all together, as you'll see in a bit. So, Joe, do we have any questions in the chat before I move on?
Nothing specific to what we've been talking about, more general ones about the system.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah, we'll try to cover kind of as many general ones at the end, as Joe said. Okay, so let's move on to the monitoring section. We have several monitoring tools that make managing and the maintenance and the risk reduction of hundreds of blogs really, really easy. First up, we have the uptime monitoring. We, as I said earlier, we monitor and log uptime for all your network sites. Because keeping an eye on hundreds of sites, many different hosts can be a massive challenge. Also, mainstream uptime checkers aren't really suited for operating a PBN at scale because you don't really want to get alerted every time a site goes down every 2 minutes because, you're going to be chasing your tail forever. And what it allows you to basically is allows you to schedule checkups, and you can see any sites that are having persistent issues over time. It just saves you a load of time because you can actually just schedule maintenance and look after the sites that are having issues rather than just being reactive to every time a little one kind of falls down quickly. And of course, the main reason for using uptime checking on the PBN is to reduce crawling errors, that can affect the reputation of the domain and ultimately dilute your link power. So let's show you a quick demo. Again, quite similar to the site issue page, you can quickly filter through the domains that are currently down. You can see the total number of checks we've done and the average network uptime over the past week. You can quickly filter through, see by searching the text URL of the domain name, which hosts are at, obviously filter only by sites that have errors and which network they're on too. And that filters this table here, and as you can see it gives you a URL, the current status, the status message, that's the HTTP code obviously, the total uptime, and the uptime over the past 10 days in a little graph, its host and which network it's on. And you can click here for a full log. And this is the monitoring page that you get for every single one of your domains on the network. And you can filter through by date range to go back in the past and kind of identify any previous issues you might have been having. And the next tool I feel like I keep saying and a lot. I apologise if I am. The next tool is monitoring robot access. So for us, the biggest threat to our network and your network and everyone operating a PBN is other SEOs. And this comes in the form of them obviously submitting spam reports to Google about your clients. Your clients then get kicked to a manual review where your patterns become even more important, as we're showing a little bit. And another risk is them actually copying your tactics. Now, we're not going to, try and say they probably don't know about PBNs, but they probably won't know how well they're actually working. So if they see you're doing well, there is a real liability that, they might jump on the bandwagon and offer you up more competition as well. And the quickest way an SEO can uncover your network is by finding it on a third-party SEO tool. So you've got to be making sure that your links are unable to be indexed by them at all times. Yeah, and the only robots that should be indexing your site obviously are Google and Bing. And you really need to keep checking as well, because it's very easy for a HTTP access file or a plugin to stop working, or say your robot text gets overwritten. And once your links are indexed, they're in there forever, especially with tools like Majestic. So if we just go in there quickly. So as you can see, we're tracking several robots here, because you don't only want to keep the bad robots out, you want to keep the good ones coming in. And when you're operating at scale, it can be easy to make a mistake where, you accidentally block Google or Bing and the site gets de-indexed for your robot file. Or access rather, sorry. So as you can see with Google access, Bing access, and then obviously avoiding the access from Majestic, Ahrefs, Open Site Explorer from Moz, and SEMrush as well. And as with the other monitoring tools, we have a complete log as well for each individual one of your domain names. Click view here. So from here we have an individual date stamp, and you can see your Google index number at the time, your Bing index number, and we also try robot access from two ways. We check your robot text, and we also spoof the robot itself by HTTP access. So as you can see here, you'll get a status code and whether you actually blocked in the robot text file. And you can obviously go back in time and filter through and also the access status within each individual robot as well. And then the next tool, obviously, as you might have guessed from here, we have an index checker. So we regularly check the index status in Google and Bing of all your network domains too. And again, you can filter through and it takes you to the same log as you just saw. So, you can go back and check exactly when you're having issues.
Sorry, Ben. Quick question for you from the chat. How often do we uptime check and how often do we index check?
So that's a great question. Okay, for the uptime checker, it's hourly, and for the robot and index checker, it is daily. So obviously we don't want to check the index too often, because that might trigger something at Google, but just enough so it kind of hides in the crowd. So the next tool is the neighbors section. Now this is our powerful kind of reverse IP tool. So this allows you to see which other domains are sharing the same IP as your network ones. You might see some big figures here because I think these domain names are on a parking page, so obviously they're going to share the same domain name as obviously tens of thousands of others. But if we go down and find some more accurate data, this one here, we found 8 different domains that share in the site. And this is great for weeding out kind of bad neighborhoods that might be putting your domain and the rest of your network at risk, really. Eventually we plan to actually start offering a rating system for an IP, so it's allowed to catch potentially toxic ones immediately and maybe give you like a health rating, but we're building that out at the moment. I'm really excited about this part because you really start to see when the magic happens with ExecPBN. We'll also talk you quickly through some of our thoughts and philosophies about patterns. For us, Google isn't some all mind-reading being. It can only see certain things that you provide for them, like your IP, your name server, your DNS zone file, and your Whois details. Basically, we give you access to all the information that Google can see and piece together about your network. So patterns affect you in 3 clear ways. The first one is link relation. One of the oldest ways Google actually has for assessing the value of a link is the hilltop algorithm. And this basically took I'd say took used IP classes to tell if two links were related, if they were from the same person using different domain names, and, therefore shouldn't carry any weight. We strongly believe, they've expanded this massively over the last 15 years and built it into their algorithm into many different areas. So keeping patterns down really means that you're maximizing each link value. Second is algorithmic penalties. If you don't notice rather that you're being too blatant, you can automatically get a slap on your network domain names, they get de-indexed, or, you see a penalty at your client site in Google Webmaster Tools. And thirdly, insidious patterns. So ones that Google might not be able to practically work into the algorithm to utilize on a day-to-day basis. However, when they manually check a profile, they can kind of spot them quite easily. And the way we've always visualized this is, imagine they kind of have an Excel spreadsheet, which would be an SQL dump of a site's backlink profile, and they can look at a much finer level of detail, and they're filtering down, and they can quickly spot patterns that we might not consider as being practical in an algorithmic sense. So when they spot them, it obviously results in a penalty for your client or a mass de-indexing of your domains. So for us, patterns mean less link value, client penalties, and networks more at risk to de-indexing. And obviously, less patterns equals more power, better rankings, and higher paying clients or better performing affiliate sites. So when we pull together all the information that we've been collecting on every single one of your network domains, you can basically see everything Google can. And another important part of the system is its ability to look at both network and client level patterns. The way we articulate network level patterns are the issue of how you stop Google from telling if your network sites are related. And for some people, that might be hiding in the crowd with popular name servers, or Whois privacy service on the kind of Whois side of things, which on the face of it, is a great way to stop relating your network domain names in isolation. However, when you start crafting backlinks to your clients, these patterns can really hurt you, both in terms of linking power and getting uncovered. Because for us, it's unnatural to have a link profile that consists mostly of inbound domains that are using, say, Cloudflare's name servers. So with the tool, we allow you to filter for patterns by all your domain names or a subnetwork, and then we also allow you to filter by a single client for, as I said, the client level patterns that you may be creating in their profile. And as you saw, you can access that from a client profile within ExecPBN. So we have two types of pattern detection tools. The first covers IP and hosting patterns, and the last one is obviously Whois Patterns. So let's take a look at the tool quickly. So this is the IP and hosting patterns page. As you can see, you can quickly filter by subnetworks here, and it gives you a quick tool just to flip through. For all of these, we provide a log as well, so you can quickly filter through and see what domains are affected by a pattern. So at the start here, we have a duplicate IP addresses. Obviously, you don't want your sites on the same IPs. Then we have a Class A domain name, so obviously the first band in an IP address. Class B, so those that share the first and second band, and Class C, which is obviously the first three bands of an IP address. And obviously it's well known that you want to be keeping all your sites on separate Class C IPs, and obviously Class D IPs would be a duplicate IP. Obviously IP by country, not overly helpful if you're in the US, because most major hosting providers are based there. But if you're targeting foreign rankings as well, you want to make sure you're using local hosting where possible. IP state, this is how we think Google identifies similar data centers, and it's great for making sure that you're actually using a different host as well. Also, just because you're not using a different IP, if they're all coming from the same location, Google isn't stupid. So it's not going to feel as maybe diverse as you think it is. IP owner, again, making sure your hosting portfolio is diverse as possible. Are you actually using a different host or just a sub-brand reseller of the same host? We've had an issue with this in the past. So start of authority email. This is in your network domain's DNS file zone, and it gives admin details of the domain or the server owner. And we've found that you could inadvertently be giving Google your personal email address every time they index your site, because hosts have a tendency to use the email that you signed up when you created the hosting account for this. Finally, a reverse DNS. This queries your IP to find if there's any host names attached to them. Again, this is another deep signal that you might not be thinking about, but they might be considering at Google. Next, we have Whois Patterns, which is really an easy win for Google if you're not keeping them diverse. Excuse me. Kind of a bit hoarse there, sorry. This is a real easy win for Google, if you're not keeping them diverse. Our own Whois used to be private registration, which again isn't something that Google can use to identify or link your network together. But, when you're linking to your client's profile, creating your client's backlink profile, it really kind of hums, I think. So yeah, again, you can filter by subnetwork. Quick menu here to go through each one of them. But we start with registrars, and you can see it just gives you a breakdown. On this one, there's a lot registered with GoDaddy, and this is something we've really tried to diverse over the last couple of years. Name server, so obviously the name server domain name. Email, which is obviously the email provided in the Whois details. Name, what name you give there. As you can see, private registration, perfect privacy. And again, for each of these, I think I forgot to do this actually in Whois Patterns, I'm sorry. It gives you a quick breakdown of each one, and you can quickly go to a log, which gives you an amazing amount of detail that we're collecting on your domain. And obviously you can filter through them as well to identify any problems, and just identify to see what you're doing. So on to the next one is expiry dates. Again, that's not something that perhaps that Google would use in their algorithm, but it's worth keeping an eye on if you are creating that pattern. And finally, creation date, which is a big one, especially for you guys scraping domains. We had a guy sign up actually for the beta program who registered 50 on the same day. Obviously a very obvious pattern when you consider there's 365 days or 365 to 1 odds on either one of your domains being registered on the same day, or created rather on the same day. So again, just something to keep an eye on, which links back into the insidious patterns that perhaps Google isn't using it algorithmically. But, if they're doing a deep investigation into your client's profiles, they could pick that up really, really quickly. So infrastructure management. Not only are we helping you avoid patterns here, but we're also helping, with resource planning and infrastructure planning in the network as you move forward. So you can quickly decide where you're going to put your next domain at, what Whois details you're going to use, which hosting you're going to use, and you have a clear set of requirements when you go out and look for new hosting to expand your portfolio. And it just gives you overall better intelligence to make quicker decisions and go out and acquire those resources for your network. So you can see the awesome power of the system, and that only covers the monitoring, planning and protection of your network. Next we're going to be talking about managing the content and order process with your PBN too. So let's make sure if you're still awake in the chat. Can I get a vote on what's your biggest headache running a PBN? Is it A, finding domains, B, finding good hosts, or C, the content process? And by content process, I mean ordering content, getting links into it, etc., and then obviously getting it up on your blog. We've got a few coming in now. Hosting, domains, all of the above. I can certainly agree with you there, Steve. Finding well-priced domains from Mo. Okay. Content. For us too, it's content, especially as our PBN. Certainly, we moved away a few years ago from kind of automating to the process where it was very obvious that if you landed on one of our network domain names, then it would be quite clearly that it would be for a PBN just solely for kind of passing on link value. And what we've kind of moved to in recent years is making it look as if they're actually real blogs. And we'll talk about a little bit about how we've achieved that, but thanks for your answers. So as I said, with ExecPBN, we think we've nailed down a high-level content process that finds the right balance between optimizing cost and, the process of running a modern and effective private blog network. I know most of you guys are running a PBN at a high level. If you're running a PBN at a high level, you appreciate that along with sourcing good domain names and keeping your hosting portfolio diverse, content can be the biggest drag on your operation. Ordering, posting and managing your content is one of the biggest time and cost overheads of running a modern PBN, we feel. Consider for a second the process required to get a post on one of your blogs for a client site First, we have establishing your targets, which keywords you're going to use or target, or need maintaining. If you've already got the rankings, establish and reacting on what links you've kind of placed before. Obviously, having a system to, identify that. Second, forming your content needs, what your articles are going to be about, what links and anchors are you going to use. Thirdly, article allocation, deciding, which blogs are going to appear on. They obviously shouldn't have a link already placed on there. You might need a certain level of power. You might want to avoid similar clients on your network, etc. Fourthly, ordering content, assigning work to your chosen writer or contacting your writing service. You have to provide all the details, including what you want the article to be about and the anchor text requirements, etc. With an in-house or a subcontracted copywriter, you have to also prioritize and monitor their workload. 5, obviously receiving content, checking if it's been completed, downloading the Word file, checking it contains the right content and the anchors you've requested. 6, assigning it to someone to handle, have them upload the file for you if you don't do it yourself. 7, adding and recording a link, adding the actual HTML links into your content, having a system for recording, what went where, etc. 8, finding pictures and videos, making the post media rich with relevant and royalty-free pictures and possibly videos, and then embedding them actually into the content correctly. And then finally 9, controlling link velocity, deciding on the publishing date, trying to space things out and yet look random at the same time. And yeah, it's all very complex, and it's not to mention having this all in place and being able to repeat it. That's why having a system in place is so important, having established a reliable system to deliver all this in a repeatable process that you have documented and can use time and time again. And you've also got to manage content turnover. You want to keep your domains fresh, looking maintained, and it's also a matter of kind of resource allocation as well, because obviously, you want to maximize all the power within your network by inking evenly across all your network domain names. However, with all that being said, poor automation isn't the answer. Sadly, there's always a tendency within, especially the internet marketing world, to offer a push button solution to any problem. Without mentioning any by names, the web is kind of a wash with solution that promises, the ultimate automated solution to your PBN content needs, etc. However, poor automation is never the answer for a number of reasons. Firstly, spinning or scraping content, this isn't a durable or long-term solution for your PBN. So low quality content is likely to be hit by Panda, never indexed, or at least seriously devalued. This will often leave your links you place in this content as, really having little or no power. Likewise, during a human scan or arrival, or Google's web spam team during a manual review, you're very likely to get a spam report or a penalty. What you save on content costs, you quickly lose in your domain investment, time, and ultimately energy. Poor match with a root blog topic. This issue occurs with both scraping and bulk ordering content around a single subject. Blending your content to your domain's original topic is vital to maintain strong links and avoid algorithmic penalties. Very few automated systems will even be able to consider this. Thirdly, categories get out of control. These automated systems usually create tens of unrelated or similar categories based on your blogs. They look at a place and make most domains look like cheap PBN from a mile off. Hard to vet scraped media. Tools which bulk scrape images and video embeds, can be an awesome time saver. The only issue is keyword based tools are not really always a perfect match for our content. Image relevancy can be sketchy at best. You have to consider also the right management of scraped photos. It's never good for your health when you get a £5,000 domain from like Getty Images because your scraper grabbed a heavily copyrighted image that you've never actually viewed with your own eyes in your life. So are we able to automate with a human touch? What if we stopped thinking of a press button solution and think of automation in terms of managing a clear system, which helps do the heavy lifting and batching during a human-led process? Could we get 80 or 90% of the human quality with just 20% of the effort and get a great return on investment on what overheads we do pay out for? So how did we go about tackling the content issue and baking this intelligent automation into ExecPBN? Well, we developed an ordering system. We always process our clients' needs on a month-to-month basis. At the beginning of each new period, we would decide what keywords we were targeting. By using the system to scan our existing network, we started recording and building in its reporting functions for what links we had already placed. Before we just used a spreadsheet, and that was really impractical. And then within the system, obviously that included the URL that we were linking to and the anchor that we had used. And this allowed us to match up our own data with ranking reports and the overall targeting plan for the client site, to develop what we would aim for within that month's links. However you personally formulate your linking plan, our client reports and link intelligence can help you make quicker and better decisions when it comes to formulating your orders each month. And you can take this information and really quickly build an order within ExecPBN. All you have to do is tell the system which client you're linking to, how many articles you require, and what links you'd like it to contain within the content. Excuse me, just while I browse to it. Posting orders. New order. So this is where you tell the system which client you'll be linking to. Just pick one at random. Order message, which is just a message for your writers. How many articles you require in this one. So let's go for 4 for this demo. And who you would actually like to complete the content. But more about this in a bit. Just click next step. Then you can create your link details, telling the system the URL and the keyword you need. We have a drag and drop interface, as you can see, to move the links into the articles you want. Let's create here, for example, homepage would be the anchor. Let's just drag that into there. And then you can quickly duplicate that. So we'll drag that into the second article. Add another keyword. Click here for the anchor. And just put that in there. Let's just create a different one completely. What should I go for? Just go for keyword. Very original. And then you just simply roll it down and drag that into your fourth post. So there you go. And obviously you can add multiple links to the same one. So just change that to example. And there you go. You're then, of course, able to tell the system how you wish each article to be handled. And then you select the category you want to be in. You can set this as a default for a client, so it would automatically fill these in. But this one doesn't seem to have one set. The second option that you've got for each article is writer can edit keywords. Now, we built this in for our in-house team, basically, to allow them to create long tail keywords. So we'd give them an outline. Say here we wanted homepage, but we wanted it in a sentence to make it increase our link diversity, basically. And assign blog manually, and that basically means that you don't want the system to follow your post rules, as we're discussing a little bit, and assign a post to one of your network domain names. Once you've finished with all that, you just go to next step, and then you've got some more options. So this is how easy it is to control link velocity. So let's say we want them posted over the next 14 days, and we can space them evenly. And you can see that it's automatically entered a post date and a time for us. Or we could space it randomly. So click again, and it just completely randomizes the post date for us within that period. And then we've got a few other options. So we've got post title. So if you wanted to control, put in a definite title for each of your articles. Post subject, this is an optional. This is an individual message to writer about this specific article, if you like. And then finally, we have use client media library, which we're coming onto. But this will automatically insert a relevant picture and a video embed into the article for us. And then finally, you can see some confirmation details. So the post topic, we didn't set one there. Here we are, arts here. Or this will automatically assign article to a blog. Article written by the writers pool. We'll come to this in a little bit again. Writer cannot edit keywords, as we said earlier. So let's go confirm order. So you saw how easy that was. And when completed, the system's put together a really detailed order requirement spec for us in just a few minutes. Now the system knows about the order, it can begin to work through the process and in turn allow us to track its progress along the way too. So at this point, if you were doing this manually, normally you would now scan your spreadsheet of your network and try to fit the client's articles onto the new domains you might have. But if you chose auto assign during your order setup, ExecPBN does this step for you. And what makes it even better is that we can set up simple rules so we always know where to find the right blog for us. It basically works down a neat set of steps for you. However, there is the option to manually assign if you would still like to do this point in the process yourself. Yeah, and obviously you can set rules to your needs as we saw in the client profile, etc. And this is the order that the system actually runs through. So first we have by network. By default, a client can post on any of your networks. However, as we saw, you can set a rule which networks they can post on in their individual profiles, etc. This is set, the system will obviously ignore blogs on networks that the client can't post on. The second rule is already has links. It basically disregards blogs in which the client already has links placed on it because, yeah, we're trying to diversify, obviously, the outbound sources in their profiles. Thirdly, we check if the network domain that we then find is listed in Google still. This just avoids you obviously having to disable any that might be de-indexed temporarily, etc. The fourth rule is related clients. You can relate client sites together so the system will make sure that they never share links from the same blog together. You may wish to keep clients separate for a number of reasons. Mostly you might find that sometimes client link profiles become too similar. This may associate their backlink profiles too close, creating trouble for the other if one client becomes under investigation from a rival or Google. The fifth rule is MOS rank selection. So as we saw in the client profile, you can set a min and max ROS rank. So obviously the network blog must fall between this SEO rating to be selected. And finally, the sixth rule is blog selection criteria. And this is in your account preferences. And basically set an account level how you want the system to prioritize which order it select the blog for your needs. So say it finds 10 blogs that are suitable, it then works out which one of them it's going to use. Currently, you've got 3 options, which is max mods rank, so the blog remaining with the highest root mods rank score will get chosen first. Largest day since last post, basically it finds the blog with the longest period since it was last updated, and this is helpful for making sure obviously the content turnover and freshness stays high, on larger networks. Minimum number of posts, finds a blog with the least number of existing posts on it basically. And if the system follows all these rules and is unable to find any suitable blogs, your post will be moved to the post issues screen that we saw earlier. And this will allow you to manually assign it to a blog. And this is where your posts also go if you selected manual assignment during the order process as well. So yeah, there is a fallback system there, exactly the same as manually assigning a blog, for unable to use automation in this sense. But even this process is, really, really fast and simple. The manual assign, all you do is simply take the article that needs to be assigned and then you filter through your network to find the ideal blog. I think even with manual, assignment in the system, it's 10 times faster than using a spreadsheet. So yeah, when you finish making an order and every article's been assigned to a blog, they get added to your writers queue. And from this queue, the order details for each of the articles available, ready for the copywriter to complete. And you can actually set up writers accounts for your contractors as well, and this allows them to log in and access your writer pool of outstanding work without obviously viewing the rest of your ExecPBN system. And you can even assign work to individual writers during the initial order process or even reassign it from your writers pool. So yeah, let's take a quick look at that. If you go to writers queue, you can see the outstanding number that you got there in the corner in the menu bar. Let's click outstanding posts. Yeah, and then you can see every single post that needs to be completed for your PBN. And we even allow you to outsource work directly to textbroker.com. That's right, we can actually send and receive your post content within a touch of a button within the system. All you need is a funded account, and we and the world's largest pool of professional writers do the rest. It's great if you instantly need, extra capacity, or, your contractor lets you down, or your staff writer's ill, your network doesn't have to miss a beat. And, you know, it all builds into our kind of a wider scope of how we process your content work for you. You know, as I said, we've already built all the details for you. So, you know, your contractor or outsource partner can quickly, you know, get started on a great piece of relevant content for your network. As you saw, you know, we allow you to send all the messages that appear in the details of your article order. And you can also set a default writer's description for each of your network domains about their original topic. And this allows your writer to match up the client-side topic with the theme of the domain. You know, and this frees them basically to create a relevant article for your client which doesn't look out of place on the domain. How to explain this better? You know, for example, a domain that used to be a Spanish travel blog gets assigned an article about vaping. So the writer would be able to write a post, say, about buying a vaping device while traveling around Spain. So yeah, it stays relevant to both your client and the original topic of the blog, which means that you won't get hit with any penalties and you're maximising your link value. And we also don't reveal, obviously, the URL of where your article is going. And the writer's description really helps you kind of bridge the gap of, you know, not having to send them to your domain to establish relevancy for themselves. Staying relevant. And yeah, we also let them know your anchor text requirements, and you can also set a minimum word count. And we actually take the submission ourselves within the system. Yeah, and we won't let your writer submit a finished article, and obviously until they've included these anchors and ensured that obviously the article's long enough. So adding relevant media to your articles too, you have two options for creating media-rich posts really quickly within ExecPBN. You can either have your writers upload a picture and details of a video embed when they submit their work, or alternatively, you have an option to build what's known as a media library for each of your clients. This allows you to mass upload images that will be selected for your client during the posting process, and you can also upload a list of, say, YouTube or Vimeo URLs, and the system will pick one at random to add to your content. This obviously not only allows you to save time and energy by front loading the work of adding relevant media, but you can also create your own high quality, you know, images and videos that you want to use on your PBN once and then just forget about it. And yeah, just not forget about it, but you're safe knowing that you've uploaded high quality, you know, safe in terms of copyright, media. And whatever you choose, whether it's the writer or the client media library, the system auto embeds either process for you. And then just a quick note about the category system. One of the biggest challenges of automation, you know, is not letting the categories on your PBN get out of control, on your WordPress installs, for example. And that's why when we're getting you set up, we help you group your current categories out there on your PBN into similar post topics. And you can also create new ones that you'd like to use directly from the system. And basically what this means practically is the system will check before posting your content to see if a similar category already exists on your blog before creating a new one. And this keeps your blogs looking as clean as possible and avoid looking spammy, which obviously can pass the human sniff test if you are uncovered. So yeah, then we'll just touch briefly on the automated posting and publishing. As we've already said, it validates the writer's work. It actually creates the HTML links in the content for you. And then it adds media. This is either as like a feature image, if your theme supports it in WordPress or Drupal, or we can tell if it can't. If it can't, we'll just embed it into the middle of the content. And yeah, it posts directly to your CMS system, so straight into WordPress, Drupal, or Tumblr. And of course, in the right category, as we just said, on the publishing date you decided. So you've controlled the link velocity as well. And though this might seem like a long-winded process to explain, the only thing you've actually done yourself in this whole process was decide what links your client site actually needed, which I think is pretty cool. So with the software, you have a solid system in place that's, easy to use, manage, and always stay organized with. It's not quite a push-button service, but it's stress-free, and it gives you a high quality human finish for about 20% of the time and effort and costs of actually humanly managing the process. So yeah, one of the advantages of obviously using a enterprise unified systems like this is that we automatically back up all your content, and that includes all your existing content too. Obviously it stores all the new content as we go through the ordering process. And we're actually building in features for you to control or reassign all the content on your network, so you can move it around blogs. Say you want to remove a client site from your network completely. We're developing a solution, so with a click of a button it'll remove all your articles, all your links, etc. from that content. And not only that, it also tracks all manual changes as well, not made from the system. So for example, if you were to log into WordPress and alter a link, or change a paragraph in some text, it automatically checks against what it has in the database and updates accordingly. So that means that all your reports stay current, like your anchor text reports and all your content backups basically. So that covers the ordering system, and on top of obviously the tools that we showed you for the monitoring, management and protection of your network, you can see what amazing powerful system we've developed here at ExecPBN. So thanks for bearing with us. I'm just going to run through again the value that we're providing. Again, we're protecting your investment, so you're not going to be losing domains to de-indexing, securing your recurring revenue because you're reducing client site penalties and you're actually improving the service that you're giving your client sites. You're increasing revenue because you're making better linking choices and getting better results. You're reducing costs by automating processes and obviously reducing the human resource costs of running a network. And you're also saving massive time and stress with your infrastructure planning because, you know what direction you need to go to and you have a clear set of requirements based on the reports. And during this webinar, I think you've basically seen the tip of the iceberg of some of the high level thinking, experience and research that we've put behind our networks over the last few years, along with the networks of our private clients as well. And you also, you're gaining the feeling of taking back control of your network. You know exactly what's going on. And you've got that peace of mind knowing you're doing everything you can to protect it. You're reducing stress, you're taking a lot of mental processing away with the automation, etc. And you're freeing yourself up to actually run your business, whether that's gaining more clients for your SEO business or just improving, the conversion rates on your affiliate sites. And ultimately, it's here to help you increase your profits, You're going to get better rankings, which should create more traffic, and that's more revenue for you, and certainly less costs and stress of running a network. So pricing. So how do we go about pricing like an enterprise solution like this? Make it as fair as possible for everyone. Well, you only actually pay for what you actually use. So you pay per blog. There's no contracts. You can cancel anytime. Really confident in this, that you're really getting value month after month. So we don't try to tie you up or make you pay over 12 months, etc. You just pay for what you use every single month. We're happy for you to have a 15-day free trial, and you can add up to 100 blogs into the system. Just give it a spin for yourself. Also, you get free upgrades forever. This is a constantly evolving system. We're using it ourselves to run a really successful affiliate business. We've got clients on there that run successful agencies, so it's a constantly evolving process. And we have round-the-clock support and help, and that's something we're really passionate about because we want you to get as much use and success out of the product as possible. And it's offer time. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. So what's the special deal for watching this webinar, you might be asking? Well, so basically we have an exclusive growth plan and we call it the mutual growth deal. And what this means is that you'll basically get a price freeze for the next 18 months on the existing size of your network. And then you get the next 25% of your expansion at cost price, which equates to about 18 cents per month per blog. So how does that work in reality? Well, let's say you've got 1,000 domains on your network currently. That means you can get your next 250 blogs in your system at cost price. As I said, we really want to support your growth, as you support our growth. So that wraps up the main part of the presentation. We'll go into questions in a bit. But if you want to take advantage of that deal, and it is an exclusive deal for webinar viewers, and it's for a limited time only, so be quick. Reach out to me at ben@execpbn.com and we'll get you set up. Thanks again for sitting through all of that. A lot of information, so I'm looking forward to your questions. So Joe's been collecting them in the chat, I think, so fire away.
Okay, so James wants to know if we worry that index checking our domains too often might set off something at Google.
No, we don't worry about that. We have a really, really large selection of IPs that we use at random to check things like that.
Dev wants to know, you say that we must give you the login details to access the sites. How safe are their passwords?
Yeah, we do take your login credentials. They're secure in the sense that it's a separate the database is actually a separate application layer, certainly separate from the front end of the site. But you can go the extra step of, setting up. We only need editorial privileges on your blog. So if you want to go that extra step and, create a new login credential for us that's separate from the admin, that's completely right. And, if you want to go that extra step, then yeah, we back that 100%.
Finally, just a few people want to know if there's any training available for the system.
So we're actually putting together some formal training. We've got some video tutorials, literally on every single page. You just click help. And it'll give you an overview of that screen and how to operate it, etc. And have said for some larger customers as well, we'll give you some one-on-one training with your team. And if you want to take advantage of that, contact me directly again. Any more?
Nope, I think that covers it, to be honest.
No, fantastic. Well, I can't thank you enough for giving us the time. I've gone through a lot of information, so I really appreciate you, kind of sticking with me in my weird London accent. It's been absolutely a pleasure to deal with you, and we hope we can get you on board soon. But if you've got any questions or anything that comes up, just come on to ExecPBN.com and reach out to us directly, and we'll be happy to talk to you. So thanks again, and we hope to welcome you into the ExecPBN community real soon. Take care, guys. Thanks a lot.